richer history than what I just showed you on TV. He gave it to us all. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 13. Let's see who the doctors are. See, we spend too much money, and these doctors are not trying to hear you, buddy. Believe that. I'm not against doctors, but we need to go to the book first and get this natural healing instead of going to the pharmaceutical market, trading problems with problems. Get in the book and learn this stuff. And believe me, these doctors just here to take your money. They ain't trying to hear you. Believe me, you come up with a cure, they're going to kill you quick if you don't sell an antidote. They got a big old thing called the pharmaceutical market, believe me. They want that thing to thrive. People got stocks in that. Let's look at the doctors. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 1, called God got a people that's supposed to analyze our bodies, tell us if what we did, what's on our bodies right or wrong, and how to handle it. Verse 1, go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying,
Who's Moses and Aaron? The Levites. Go ahead.
When a man shall have in the skin of his flesh arising a scab or bright spot,
Yes, sir.
and it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priest.
He said, bring him to who? Aaron the priest. What did he bring Aaron for priest? He's the doctor. That's who God gave the person to examine you. Whether you know or not, leprosy is in all these diseases. They just fancy them up with different names. It all dealing with your skin. They're going to check your skin and see what's going on. What the doctor do when you go in there? Where it hurt at? He going to look at you. He don't even give you an examination until later on. Well, listen what he's saying right here. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And the priest shall look on the plague.
The priest shall what?
Look on the plague.
Examination. Doctor. He's the doctor. Go ahead.
And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh. And when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh,
Yes, sir.
it is a plague of leprosy. And the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean.
He's unclean. When you got some boils or some sores on you, and you got a white hair in there, hey man, you're unclean. You need to get this checked out. It can develop to something bigger. Go ahead.
For if the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and in the skin, and in sight be not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague 7 days.
Quarantine. What are they doing with these people over with the coronavirus? They're going to quarantine them for a minute. They got to see what this thing going to do. This is what the doctor did in Israel. Where do you think they got that from? From us. Israel. He said he's going to shut them up for 7 days to see where this stuff passed. They didn't just come up with this. God gave that to us. This is the Levitical law of cleanliness. People talk, well, they cleanliness law. No, it ain't going nowhere. You need to know this so you can set yourself apart, making folks sick. Folk come to work coughing all on people, got all these diseases. Believe me, I got to examine this car I could have. I see balls in people's hair too. I'm like, man, I can't cut this. Bleeding. Like, man, I had to tell one, no, I can't cut this right here. Pussing everywhere. I didn't even know about this back then, but I knew not to touch that. Go ahead, let's hear what else the doctor got to do.
5. And the priest shall look on him the 7th day, and behold, if the plague in his sight be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more.
So if you're right there in your skin and don't spread, he's going to shut you up 7 days. Look at it some more. Quarantine. Go ahead.
And the priest shall look on him again the 7th day. And behold, if the plague be somewhat dark, and the plague spread not in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean.
Yes, sir.
It is but a scab, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean.
See, this is the procedure to keep down sickness and disease. But we don't know this. Get in there and just lay all on stuff, spreading disease to everybody, got the whole house sick. A lot of people don't even know this. It's got to be a scab on it. Got to be quarantined. I just want to run through. These are the doctors that was on these slave ships. Prime example, it was back in the 16 or 1800s, I was doing some research. It said that a lot of ladies was giving birth and they was dying. They was dying for giving birth. The reason why the doctors gave birth to one lady or whatever they had, he didn't wash his hands, he wiped them off and went to the next lady. They said out of 100,000 women, 600 women were dying at an alarming rate. Until somebody went in the Bible and seen, well, you need to put your hand under some running water and wash it. But they were using the same towels. They didn't understand the Levitical law here. But they was doctors. So one man, I forgot his name, went in there and he started reading this stuff. He's like, oh, we got to wash our hands after every childbirth. And the death rate of women went down to about 15 women per year. Per 100,000, 15 women. Cause of this. Small, right? But over 600 women were dying. So somebody figured out you need to wash your hands before you go to the next person. Go ahead.
Verse 7. But if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after that he hath been seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. And if the priest see that, behold, the scab spreadeth in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprosy.
All diseases will stem from leprosy. He got to look at the hairs. He got to look at the sore. He got to look at all this stuff before he let you go. If it ain't getting no better, they sent you outside the camp, man. You unclean. You can't come in here no more. You got leprosy. Until that thing clear up and your skin turn all the way white, that's how white folks are, lepers. Anyway, clean lepers. It's got to be clean. Go ahead.
When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest. And the priest shall see him. And behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising.
So you tell you that the sore is raw that you have. Go ahead.
It is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh. And the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean.
He unclean, man. This is the doctor. This is what we did. This is what a Levitical priest had to analyze. There wasn't no such thing, no OBGYN or some nurses. No, the priest did that job. Jump down to verse 29. Go ahead.
If a man or a woman have a plague upon the head or the beard.
Now you're talking about your head or your beard. You got a plague. Go ahead.
Then the priest shall see the plague. And behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scald, even a leprosy upon the head or beard.
Boy, you can't hardly tell with Israel now with all these hair colors. A yellow hair in your skin, you unclean inside that sore of your head. Meaning your beard or your head. Go ahead.
31. And if the priest look on the plague of the scald, and behold, it be not in sight deeper than the skin, and that there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague of the scald 7 days.
The scald is the area of the sore. That's all they're saying, scald, the area of the disease where it is. He said you're going to shut him up for 7 days. Quarantine. They weren't out there going giving you millions of drugs. All this pharmaceutical stuff, taking all these pills. No, we're going to find like God medicine in a minute. But this is how you quarantine. He had to look at you for a minute. This is about the bald head and the beard. The head and the beard, excuse me. Go ahead.
32. And in the 7th day the priest shall look on the plague, and behold, if the scald spread not, and there be in it no yellow hair, and the scald be not in sight deeper than the skin,
go ahead.
He shall be shaven. But the scald shall he not shave, and the priest shall shut up him that hath the scald 7 days more.
So the reason why they shave, because hair grabs any material that's in the air or whatever next to your hair, like any disease. Hair will kind of keep. That's why you got hair in your ears, hair in your nose, keep from stuff getting inside of you so quickly. It will slow it down. But in this case right here, he wants you to shave all your hair off, so you can eliminate that part and wash it and be clean. Because you got other hair, you're gonna get in this side of the hair, that side of the hair, so forth and so on. But this is what the doctors did, the Levitical priests. It's simple. But they got pharmaceuticals here telling you, even Dr. Sagan said that. He said every disease can be healed by natural remedies. That's why they killed him. Well, I ain't gonna say that's why they killed him. That's why he died. Well, I know the history on that one too. But keep going, let's finish this.
34. And in the 7th day the priest shall look on the skull, and behold, if the skull be not spread in the skin, nor be in sight deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean.
Yes, sir.
And he shall wash his clothes and be clean.
What verse you at?
34.
All right. See, this is what the priest does. He got to look upon it. The priest has to know some things. Go ahead.
35. But if the skull spread much in the skin after his cleansing, then the priest shall look on him. And
See, this is the reason why we got so many sickness and disease going on around here. Because ain't nobody following this. It's boring. But a few people that understand. Quarantine, watching the hair, the scabs, all this stuff we need to know. Just in case we come in contact with somebody. You can analyze it yourself. Like, hold on, bro, you need to get this checked out. Go ahead.
behold, if the skull be spread in the skin, the priest shall not seek for yellow hair. He is unclean.
He's unclean. Go ahead.
But if the skull be in his sight at a stay, and that there is black hair growing up therein, the skull is healed. He is clean, and the priest shall pronounce him clean.
So we're dealing with hair. If the hair yellow or white, it's unclean. But if it's black, it's clean. If it comes up in the store, meaning that it ain't affected, it ain't been disease like affected by it, ain't spreading because it got black hair still growing in there. Keep going.
Verse 38. If a man also or a woman have in the skin of their flesh bright spots, even white bright spots, then the priest shall look, and behold, if the bright spots in the skin of their flesh be darkish white, it is a freckled spot that groweth in the skin.
So you got a lot of people out here who got freckles. You know, God looking at everything. He trying to see how them bright spot looking. He said, well, it's going to be a freckle. You okay if you got freckles. Go ahead.
Verse 40. And the man whose hair is falling off his head, he is bald.
James, that's you, boy.
Yet is he clean.
Yes, sir. He clean because the hair falling off his head. If he got no boy, he just losing his hair. Go ahead.
And he that had his hair falling off from the part of his head toward his face, he is forehead bald, yet is he clean.
Yes, sir. Yeah, because you're losing your hair, that's a normal thing for a man. Start at the top, and then sometimes you just lose it. But there's a flip side to that when you see this leprosy sits in. Go ahead.
42. And if there be in the bald head or bald forehead a white reddish sore, it is a leprosy sprung up in his bald head.
So we're looking at the bald head and the white reddish sore. Go ahead.
Or his bald forehead, then the priest shall look upon it. And behold, if the rising of the sore be white reddish in his bald head or in his bald forehead, as the leprosy appeareth in the skin of the flesh.
Go ahead.
He is a leprous man. He is unclean. The priest shall pronounce him utterly unclean. His plague is in his head.
It's because he's telling you how to distinguish between a plague in your head or you clean. I mean, I ain't trying to pick on the Jeremy. You be asking about the spots in your head, so you clean, bro. I remember that. I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, oh, okay. You good. So you got chance. All these diseases are leprosy. But they fancy it up to keep you buying all these medicine. We're going to get to the medicine. Go ahead.
45. And the leper in whom the plague is, his clothes shall be rent, and his head bare. And he shall put a covering upon his upper lip, and shall cry, unclean, unclean.
Wow. Boy, they ain't play about that, man, because you can kill a whole camp with this disease and leprosy. We need to know that this is what the Levitical priests were. They were the doctors. Jump down to verse 59. Go ahead.
This is the law of the plague of leprosy in a garment of woolen or linen, either in the warp or woof, or anything of skins to pronounce it clean, or to pronounce it unclean.
So we got the law of the plague of leprosy. And it's still going on there. I see people with this stuff on now where sores won't heal. I'm watching them. They think they ain't watching because I couldn't have it. And boy, that thing can get real nasty. Leviticus chapter 14. We still looking at, this is the gifts that these slaves had on the ship. They didn't have pharmaceuticals. They had knowledge, but they couldn't speak the tongue, so they call them ignorant or call them all kind of names. But when they learned how they was moving and operating, gave them some freedom, they started teaching the white folks how to keep clean. These white people that was in Rome and the Caucasus Mountains, Georgia, Russia, they wouldn't even take a bath. We had to teach them how to take a bath. They always tell you about the Dark Ages. You know why they call them Dark Ages? Because we were ruling at the time. You never hear no history on that. But that's another lesson. Leviticus chapter 14 and verse 33. Still continuing with this leprosy a little bit. Go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, when ye be come into the land of Canaan, which I give to you for a possession, and I put the plague of leprosy in the house of the land of your possession.
So we understand this is the plague in our house. Because this stuff can get in people's walls and make them sick. Some people say it mold and all this stuff. This is why God said you deal with it. Go ahead.
35. And he that owneth the house shall come and tell the priest, saying, it seemeth to me there is as it were a plague in the house.
How many people go in the house looking at the walls and see anything going on? Nobody. Well, I ain't gonna say nobody. Some people, not many. Go ahead.
36. Then the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest go into it to see the plague.
Yes, sir.
That all that is in the house be not made unclean. And afterward the priest shall go in to see the house.
You go in the house and make sure everything is everything. Make sure ain't no plague in there. Because he's the doctor. He's the doctor. You have to know a lot of stuff you were a Levitical priest. Keep going. We can't touch it all, but we're going to touch most of it. Go ahead.
And he shall look on the plague, and behold, if the plague be in the walls of the house with hollow strakes, greenish or reddish, which in sight are lower than the wall.
Yes, sir.
Then the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house, and shut up the house 7 days.
Y'all understand how God do his days 7 days. Everything stem around his perfect numbers. 7 days. Shut it up for 7 days, and then see if it is clean or not. Just like a woman on the cycle, 7 days. Just like anybody, even a man, if he touching a woman or getting it on him, he got to be unclean 7 days. Blood on him, he got to be unclean 7 days. What if you have a discharge? We're going to touch on that. Keep going.
And the priest shall come again the 7th day, and shall look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the walls of the house. Then the priest shall command that they take away the stones in which the plague is, and they shall cast them into an unclean place without the city. And
this is what the priest had to do. He had to make sure you know that. Take away the stone, take the house down, and cast it away, put it in a part of the city, because they didn't want that disease eat up the whole camp. Go ahead.
Verse 41. And he shall cause the house to be scraped within round about, and they shall pour out the dust that they scraped off without the city into an unclean place.
They scrape all that stuff off. Let's see if that don't work, what are you going to do next? Go ahead.
And they shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones, and he shall take other mortar and shall plaster the house.
All they're doing is redoing the house and see if it's going to stay up without this leprosy in the walls. Go ahead.
And if the plague come again and break out in the house, after that he hath taken away the stones, and after he hath scraped the house, and after it is plastered. Then the priest shall come and look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the house, it is a fretting leprosy in the house, it is unclean.
So the priest had a lot of job doing. The plague in the house. Plague in the house. Jump down to verse 48. Go ahead.
And if the priest shall come in and look upon it, and behold, the plague hath not spread in the house after the house was plastered, then the priest shall pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed. So
we had to understand how the house, if it got leprosy and the walls and all this stuff. These are the doctors. Doctors. Leviticus 15 and 1. The gifts that on the ship that we had. Go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When any man hath a running issue out of his flesh, because of his issue he is unclean.
So if you got a running issue out your flesh, whether it be blood, pus, or whatever, whatnot, You're unclean. Go ahead.
And this shall be his uncleanness in his issue. Whether his flesh run with his issue, or his flesh be stopped from his issue, it is his uncleanness.
So if you got a discharge from your body, brother, you unclean. You need to make sure you quarantine yourself until when? Go ahead.
Verse 4, every bed whereon he lieth that hath the issue is unclean, and everything whereon he sitteth shall be unclean.
So we always talking about the sisters now, but plenty of us that got cuts on us or have some type of venereal disease or something like that. You got to make sure you clean yourself and be quarantined also. So it ain't just the sisters. It's us too as men. We got to know this. To stay clean. Go ahead.
Verse 5, and whosoever toucheth his bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening.
So you unclean to the evening. To the evening. Go ahead.
And he that sitteth on anything whereon he sat that hath the issue shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening.
So you got to take a bath. Don't just take the clothes off and then put some more clothes on. Wash yourself. Go ahead.
Verse 7, and he that toucheth the flesh of him that hath the issue shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. And if he that hath the issue spit upon him that is clean, then he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening.
This is the cleanliness law of the doctors. This is what we supposed to minister to Israel and share with them. This is the things we got to understand. Jump down to verse 19. Go ahead.
Verse 19, and if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever touches her shall be unclean until the evening.
Because it's blood, man, whether it be a man or woman, it will make the place unclean. You will hurt somebody. You want to make sure you quarantine it off until it's safe. Go ahead. Yeah, 24. Go ahead.
And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereon he lieth shall be unclean.
So, man, you cannot have sexual relationship with a woman, especially your wife, when she's on a cycle. You got to wait 7 days. Make sure I threw that in there because there was some stuff going on when I was coming up, but we didn't know nothing about this. But this is what the cleanliness law that the doctors had, which is the Levites. These are doctors that were on that slave ship that had these many gifts that the world was getting sick by. Now let's go get some medicine. Let's see what the medicine is. Let's go Revelation chapter 22. Let's see if we go to the pharmacist. I ain't telling nobody not to take their medicine. You hear me? But this is how God healed the body. Revelation chapter 22 and verse 1. Let's see what God's medicine is. What he used to heal people. Verse 1. Go ahead.
And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb.
See, this talking about also in the future now, when he going to set up this kingdom upon the earth for 1,000 years. But this right here might be, this right here might be in the new, well, I'm going to get ahead of myself. Keep going. I'm just dealing with the medicine right now. Go ahead.
Verse 2, in the midst of the street of it, and on the other side of the river,
he said, in the middle of the street of this city, is something there. What is that? Go ahead.
Was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits.
Yes, sir.
And yielded her fruit every month.
Wait a minute. Her fruit? So we know this ain't Jesus. He's talking about a tree, a little tree that has fruit on it. To do what? Go ahead.
And yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
The healing of the nations. Herbs. I ain't talking about no weed. I'm talking about herbs or vegetation. This is how you heal people, not pharmaceuticals. Let me show you something. Let's go. Let me show you how God healed Hezekiah. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 38. These are the gifts on the ship. Meaning that we got to keep this history going to show what our people can do. But if we don't have no information, How are we going to explain this? How are we going to stay healthy? It's more than just ignorant slaves trading off their ship. There were very smart people come out the ship, but when you take a people from their land and take their language away from them, it's hard to communicate. It's hard to communicate. Let's look at Hezekiah. This is the time that God told Hezekiah to get his life in order. He about to die tonight. But people never read all the way down and see what God told him to do. Isaiah chapter 38, we'll start at verse 1. Go ahead.
In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death.
Yes, sir.
And Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos, came unto him and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Set thine house in order, for thou shalt die and not live.
He said, man, get yourself right. Ask God to forgive you your sin, because you're going to die tonight. Go ahead.
Then Hezekiah turned his face toward the wall and prayed unto the Lord.
Hezekiah prayed, man. He's like, no, I don't want to die. Go ahead.
And said, Remember now, O Lord, I beseech thee, how I have walked before thee in truth and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight.
This is healing too. This is medicine. He saying it with his mouth and telling God his references, what he did. And God honored that. Go ahead.
And Hezekiah wept sore. Then came the word of the Lord to Isaiah, saying, Go and say to Hezekiah, Thus saith the Lord, the God of David, thy father, I have heard thy prayer.
Yes, sir.
I have seen thy tears. Behold, I will add unto thy days 15 years.
So he added 15 years because he honored God and telling him what he has done.
Amen.
So we being quiet, not saying hallelujah, that's the highest praise, not talking about God, it's sickness to your body too. Jump down to verse 9. Let's see about the sickness Hezekiah had. He added 15 years to him, but he told him to do something. Go ahead.
The writing of Hezekiah, king of Judah, when he had been sick and was recovered of his sickness.
Now he said when he had been sick and recovered of his sickness, jump down to verse 20. Let's see what God told him to do to recover of his sickness. Go ahead.
Verse 20. The Lord was ready to save me. Therefore we will sing my songs to the stringed instruments all the days of our life.
Yes, sir.
In the house of the Lord.
So he told him, I'm giving you honor all the days of my life. Go ahead.
For Isaiah had said, Let them take a lump of figs.
Wait. A lump of figs?
Yes, sir.
What you gonna do with these figs? Go ahead.
And lay it for a plaster upon the boil, and he shall recover.
Oh, this is how you heal yourself.
Amen.
A fig. Because whether you know it or not, we come from the earth. We just earth walking. He ain't take no pot, no pig. Take a fig and lay it on the sore. But we rarely go to the book and find out what will heal this body. Rarely. This thing, it amazes me when I put this stuff together. I'm like, whoa. Finish that.
22. Hezekiah also had said, What is the sign that I shall go up to the house of the Lord?
Okay, that's good. Let's go to Mark chapter 5. We got to have more faith in God medicine than man. Mark chapter 5. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. The only thing these physicians trying to do is make you broke. They're not trying to cure nothing. They are treating it. That's the difference between treating and curing. Dr. Satan was curing people. He cured people from AIDS, cancer, diabetes. He cured people all this stuff. And he had to go before the court and submit it. And they had to let it go because he had proof he cured it. Dr. Satan reading his book. Mark chapter 5. Let's look at some about these physicians. I said, I ain't telling about not taking medicine now. Let's look at this certain woman right here. Mark chapter 5, verse 25. Let's see what God said about these physicians and how they did her. The physicians of the world, the doctors of the world, like they doing us right now. Verse 25, go ahead.
And a certain woman, which had an issue of blood 12 years,
So this woman was bleeding 12 years, bleeding. Let's look what she was doing with these physicians. Go ahead.
and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing better, but rather grew worse.
What? Suffer things from what? Many physicians. What are those? Doctors in this world. Spent all she had. They're not trying to cure